cryptocurrency to become one of the safest environments ever. Experts in cryptocurrency debate regulatory fragmentation, rapid rule adoption, and sound compliance methods for VASPs. Chainalysis, a blockchain analytics business, released a research in January disclosing results indicating only 0.34%, $10 billion, of all Bitcoin transactions in 2020 involved criminal activities, down from about 2.1%, $21.4 billion, a year earlier. However, if you listen to the media or politicians sensationalize particular unfavorable events, you may have a more negative opinion of the crypto sector, according to panelists at a recent Refinitiv webinar. According to Pele Braingaillard, Chief Executive Officer at Notabene, which helps companies manage regulatory and counterparty risk in crypto transactions, one of the biggest changes in how the industry is perceived in recent years has been among law enforcement and regulators who are actively working with blockchain technology and using its traceability benefits to crack down on crime. All of the data is there, and they can trace everything, which is why they can tackle problems like ransomware. They've been able to locate and isolate cash quite readily and fast in practically all of the main ransomware cases, Braingaillard added. The reality is that if you're a money launderer, Bitcoin and cryptocurrency are some of the absolute worst instruments available. Regulation is a haphazard patchwork. Despite the rapid development of tools to address concerns about illicit activity in the cryptocurrency space, the FATF, Financial Action Task Force, stated in its second 12-month review of the implementation of its revised standards on virtual assets and VASPs, virtual asset service providers, that the industry is not moving fast enough, and countries are not implementing regulations quickly enough. According to Malcolm Wright, Chief Compliance Officer at 100x Group, which owns and operates popular crypto exchange BitMEX, some countries are ahead of others, resulting in an uneven patchwork of regulation and regulatory arbitrage by some VASPs moving to jurisdictions where doing business is easiest. According to Wright, the FATF would want to see regulators level the playing field and have very equivalent laws in place so that corporations do not have any opportunity to cheat the rules. According to Grace Chong, of counsel at Simmons & Simmons JWS, where she manages regulatory and digital business and represents crypto exchanges, brokers, and custodians, the fragmented and rapidly evolving regulatory landscape makes compliance with AML rules more difficult, particularly for large VASPs operating on a global scale. She added that countries implement travel laws and AML standards differently, with varying thresholds, and that suspicious transaction reporting rules vary by jurisdiction. All of this, according to Chong, can be very hard for enterprises operating in numerous jurisdictions. Regulatory arbitrage is coming to an end. According to Braingaillard, who assists enterprises in implementing the travel regulation, the issue of regulatory arbitrage will likely be resolved over the next 1 to 2 years, even if certain countries fall behind in developing national regulatory frameworks for VASPs. What's really interesting is that we're now seeing a lot more exchanges actually sign up with us, not because it's a necessity yet, but because their counterparties are in places where it is a need, so they now need to implement it, the travel rule, he explained. This is ahead of the local legislation. Braingaillard stated that there was initially concern that the travel rule would not be widely adopted. However, he claims that industry adoption is now happening considerably faster, mostly for business reasons rather than solely to meet local legal needs. I believe this is what will help push it out over the following year. There does appear to be widespread knowledge of the way ahead among industry players, and many crypto exchanges have decided to be ahead of it and have begun to implement good practices, including mechanisms to implement the TRIP regulation, according to Wright. Implementation of travel regulations. He divides travel rule implementation into 3 sections, the first of which involves the signals that must be delivered between VASPs. Last year, Industry groups such as GDF, Global Digital Finance, where Wright chairs the AML Working Group, created the IVMS 101 messaging standard. This has resulted in a consistent data model for VASPs to utilize when transmitting originator and beneficiary information as required by the travel rule. The second component is the transfer protocol, which ensures that the IVMS 101 message is securely sent. While a number of companies offer transfer protocols, the industry is still trying to ensure that the various protocols can speak to each other in a seamless manner, according to Wright. The third component entails being able to assure that data is safely stored at VASPs. BitMEX published guiding principles for VASPs on good data storage procedures for transmitting travel rule data in February. Access management, travel rule data security, information protection, logging and monitoring, incident management, and privacy are among the principles covered. Meanwhile, the FATF held a consultation in March on updated guidance for virtual assets and VASPs, with the goal of publishing a final version by November of this year. The guidance clarifies the travel rule and the requirement for VASPs to complete sanctions screening using information collected from KYC processes or from the originating institution. Screening results are available immediately. The panelists emphasized the difficulties for VASPs in meeting their sanctions screening duties, particularly if they do not collect information such as date of birth and nationality, since this will result in a significant number of false positives and hold down customer onboarding. Aside from standardizing KYC processes, VASPs will need to adopt dependable screening technologies, such as WorldCheck, that allow for automation, immediate results, and the ability to alter criteria to limit false positive rates. The WorldCheck database is already widely used in the financial industry as a whole. It covers all sanctioned entities worldwide, contains millions of additional records not available on official lists, including data on PEPs, politically exposed persons, and includes negative media screening functionality to identify additional regulatory, legal, and reputational risk. For the first time in crypto, the travel rule allows institutions to collaborate effectively before the transaction, said Brain Gayard. According to the most recent FATF standards, the transmission of travel rule data should take place immediately to allow for any freezing actions to take effect before the underlying transaction is completed. I believe blockchains and cryptocurrencies, with the proper tools and skilled employees, will truly be one of the safest settings ever, he stated. Characteristics of good compliance. In the future, Wright believes that appropriate compliance for a cryptocurrency exchange could require onboarding other exchanges almost like a correspondent bank using a Wolfsburg Group-style due diligence questionnaire. This would allow for simple bidirectional onboarding, including queries about transfer processes, screening practices, and data storage. What we are now constructing is a very robust ecosystem between exchanges that will allow for the transfer of this information, but will also help to elevate the game, because if you aren't at that level, it will eventually be very difficult to transact with those exchanges that are Wright explained. The hallmarks of good compliance, according to Jason Yu, Compliance and AML Director at HashKey Group, are tone from the top, senior management accountability, clear roles and responsibilities, policies and procedures on controls, having the right tools and technology to enable the compliance function, well-defined escalation procedures, good record keeping, and having a training program. We hope you enjoyed watching and listening to this video. Please let us know your opinion in the comments area below. If you found our content useful, please like it and share it with your friends. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell for more crypto-related contents.